getting out of prison. I am Kendall Gomez. Baby, Sean Combs is never getting out of prison. Guys, get up in here and share my live. I'm usually on with the morning horoscopes and the morning tea, but I had to get this evening edition tea out only because there so much is coming out about people being informants since 1996. Sean Combs has been named in this. And speaking of the Keffe D case, Sean Combs has been implemented 77 times. Well, he's been named 77 times in the Tupac murking. So we gonna get into this right now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I needed I need a minute, guys. Give me 1 second, because I'm up in here. And let me share my live. Hold on. Let me just share this real quick. Let me share this real quick. Done. Because ain't nobody up in here right now, but that's okay. Because I'm building my channel, guys. I need 500 more. I mean, like 200 more subscribers. But listen, right now, I'm just glad to be up in here because it is a lot going on. Well, we know what we know so far is that Sean Combs doesn't seem like he's getting out. And the only reason why I say that is because when I went to the courts, this is getting real because this all correlates with white nail polish, which my girlfriend Jay used to wear white nail polish. This also correlates with um, her working for Puffy. And this also correlates several people that I'm seeing that were close to Puffy that have moved out the country. They have actually moved out the country. They, for whatever it seems, some shady businesses going on, guys. I'm telling you, share my live because we need some more people up in here. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. I am Kendall Gomez. Yes, girl. So it is getting real up in here. And all these people moving. Well, let me pull your in a little closer. Let me pull your in a little closer. Okay. Yes, he is never getting out. And I'm telling you guys, Sean Combs is going to be stuck in behind bars for the rest of his life. And I was saying this since 500 Pearl Street. If some of you guys remember, I was at the Sean Combs trial, right? And what actually was going down was a whole circus. It got more about them jumping on Tisa Tells and people arguing and everything, going back and forth. The mean people that were wearing puppies t-shirts and me, getting my YouTube on because that was my first time working my set on YouTube. And let me tell you something. They all thought I was a newscaster, right? A lot of people was like, "Oh, you're a newscaster," and I'm like, "No." But get into that. I just know people. I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And the only reason why I say that, guys, is because they moved out the country and cursed me out like about 2 months ago. They cursed me out like 2 months ago, and I was told, you'll never be, this woman and blah, 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 blah. Like out of nowhere, and I said, this is called uh, traumatic, a traumatic experience that this person is going through. And they took it out on me. And of course, she worked for Puppet. We're going to call her, yeah, I put my gilder down a little bit, but we going to call her Jay. Okay, so let me just give you a little backstory. So this was around the time I was working for Spinderella, right? And um, she was really heavily working before we're gonna call Jay, Jay was working for Puppy. Jay was actually wearing white nail polish. I had noticed it because it had looked really nice. So was she a part of the FOs? And then every time I would do her hair, she would be like, "Oh, you freaked my hair, you freaked my hair." But she worked for Puffy. She worked for Puffy and Janice Combs. She was supposed to be an event planner, whatever the case may be. Um, God don't like ugly, cause I'm really like sitting here and I know this girl all the way from junior high school. Like, really? You really implemented in that? You were friends with, you were sleeping with the man that Puffy gave the $1 million to, alleged $1 million. This $1 million they keep talking about. And it came up in court today. I'm not down at that case. I wish I was. I am going to New York, but it's not, it's in LA. So the trial of the century that we thought is not over, it has spilled over into a whole nother case. Now, I've been telling you guys, I've been telling you that Sean Combs was never getting out. For some reason, it was very odd because it was a circus at on Pearl Street, 500 Pearl Street. So I was like, dang. I said, really? They gonna hold him like that? Puppy is a dangerous man. And this is what everybody's saying. Even the. But Gene Deal made it very clear Puppy was never a tough guy. But I gotta fix this wig, my Gilda. Y'all like my Gilda? I got it up today. So, but yeah, Puppy. Hi everyone, El Jorador. But Puppy, um, he's just not getting out. But let me get back to the story. But Jay was sleeping with Von Zip. That's the man that used to own zip codes. That's the man that Jay, the girl I know all the way back from junior high school, was sleeping and worked sleeping with we used to call him Boss Hog for a code, so nobody knew it was Von Zip. It was too much secrecy. It was a lot of listen, you hear me? And now she lives out the country, I think in Bermuda or somewhere. When she cursed me out, I know that was her last place. So if they come up to me, I'm gonna be like, she's over there. Because she had some choice words for me. But nevertheless, guys, um, so there's a correlation with her. I think she was the go-between girl for that $1 million. Because she hated Von Zip. We had the code word, and we used to call him Boss Hog because he was a boss. I told you he was not a game. Von Zip, East Coast, West Coast, he just was not that dude to be played with. And yeah, so it spills over into the case that Keffe D is on trial for the rapper Tupac Shakur. This is what's going on. And that's why I got up, because I said, bingo. I haven't had a chance. I was tired. I was working. My arms are always up. So by the time I get home and I see the tea, I told you all the tea. I told you the tea a long time ago. I told you about Jay. I told you about Von Zip. And I also told you about the correlation with her being caught up with the Puffy Von Zip money exchange. And yeah, I'm telling you. And called me up. I'm telling you, Jay called me up a couple of weeks and cursed me clear the the out. And I was like, why is she cursing? Because that's some trauma to be going through, to have to try to run from the law. It used to be so lawful. And you loved the police back then. Now you can't stand the police. Pick a side. And I know why she's hating the police, because she has to deal with the courts and everything. And this is alleged. Because nothing is, really set in stone, guys. So, speeding up to the case and what was going on today. Let me tell you what we know. So, this is why I was saying, wow. Um, there was hmm, wow, this is crazy. And when I tell you this is crazy, this is crazy. This is so crazy. So now we have now, and he's known as an informant. The Keffe Davis is they say has been an informant since 1998, and he has implemented Sean Combs the whole way, even on the interviews, bragging, like, and he wasn't the pew pew man, he was just the man. So it's almost like gonna turn into a RICO charge. It looks like, and they can't get Bonds if is no longer with us. If they implement, because his name keeps popping up too. I'm I'm telling you, that's why I went to the Sean Combs trial, because I had wanted to see justice for Biggie and Tupac. I kid you not. I kid you not. I wanted to see justice, right? But this is the crazy part. So Lee testified Davis signed a proffer with the FBI and entered to a clandestine. Come on now, what's going on over here? And entered into a clandestine agreement with the U.S. Attorney Office for Central District of California to inform on the Compton Crips and politicians to avoid jail time for drug charges, right? This is interesting, guys. Y'all hear me do the morning horoscopes and you'll hear me but this is me. I am Kendall Gomez. This is what I love to do, is the real tea. This is tea. So when getting the puppy, because this is the part that was talked about in court today, while and get into this, while Sean Combs is being held in solitary confinement. Do you think this was set up? They put that guy in the same prison that taunted him from the Brooklyn Detention Center, and they knew that would tee off Puppy and put him in solitary confinement, so he did not and would not and could not be able to pull strings for this Keffe D trial. I'm telling you, the government is tricky. They very tricky. And the truth sounds much further than a lie. And if you ever heard me say that, it's because it's the truth. The truth sounds much, and I'm telling you, and I've been telling you guys, it is going down. And even when I was going to the courts, I said, it's going to go down. I said, that's going to come up. It got to come up. How can they surpass Biggie and Tupac? That's been an unsolved mystery for a minute, unsolved. And they were attending to it. It wasn't like they weren't. They were working hard. And I think they got enough evidence on Sean Combs where Sean Combs will never be getting out, guys. This is the part. This is where we need to get to. But just before we get there, get into this, girl, because girl, it is a lot. Let me turn up this light, because you know I'm old, so I can so I can see what's going on. Excuse my stained top, my coffee. I was running, trying to get myself together, and spill coffee on my top. I know. I ain't have time to change because I had to get to you guys. I had to get this tea over here. I had to get this tea because it is a lot of tea. But let's get to this next point. Let's get to this next point, because this is where it gets real crazy. So allegedly, this is Sean Combs' friend, Christopher Wallace Biggie, which I don't think so. I think it was just a money thing, because he seems very manipulative, very smart. I've watched him in court. I know He was around some of the same people I were around. They're actually geniuses. Yeah, these are very smart people, went to private schools. These are people that I know, right? Um, and he was, unalive 6 months later after Tupac had his untimely demise. And, we all are saying, and we've been saying this in the street. See, I got to pull my gilder down. We all been saying in the street for years. Puppy got something to do with that. 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 Allegedly. Allegedly. We're just going to say allegedly. So, and now, and this is coming, but this is coming from, I Magazine, LA Magazine, I mean. And now, long running rumors about Combs' involvement in the murkings garnered new steam with testimony from a 34-year-old veteran LAPD robbery homicide detective Darren Dupree. Girl, this is getting juicy. Right? This is where I did a lot of hard work in the Sean Combs case, and it paid off, guys, because I do, like I said, I was meeting people in the industry out there that we knew the same people. I'm just telling you. And don't ever say I never told you, but I told you, I've been telling you since the Sean Combs trial. I was out there. I was in the courts, guys, right? I was in the overflow room because they really had it on lockdown. I was really about to go through a separation, went through a separation. It was a lot going on in my life at that time that I could not pull it together to get into those courts. But I was in the overflow room where they had the big screens. You could see the whole court. And I was able to see Sean Combs. I was right there in the courts, in the building. But, with the newscasters, NBC, I met some wonderful people. But let's get back to the tea. See, because I like to go off in a tangent. I do. But so these rumors have come out, and we knew Davis told investigators in 2008 proffer that he never got his half of the $1 million from Combs, which investigators surmised was a potential motive for Biggie's untimely death. I told you guys this is getting out of hand for Sean Combs. And we may see justice. I'm telling you, I knew he was involved. I knew it. And when I tell you it was just crazy, it was insane when I woke up and I said, but I've been telling you guys. I've been telling you guys, Sean Combs, he ain't never getting out. And I felt sorry for him about how they were doing him, but they had to do him. Now I'm looking back in hindsight, they had to do him the way they did him, only to hold him. Because I'm gonna tell you something about any court, any investor, any detective. If you're in jail, you're sitting in jail, and you did a lot of horrific crimes, but they're trying to pin you, and you're in there for something that's not as big, but they're holding you, and you're trying to understand why they holding me. It's happened to some people. I've seen it because I've been locked up before, girl. Girl, I've been locked up before. But anyway, so I seen people being held. They didn't know why. And then finally they came and got rearrested. And that, my dear, is about to happen to Sean Combs. Watch what I tell you. This, I I just have a strong feeling they're going to be handcuffing and locking up Sean Combs. I kid you not. For the rest of his life. Throw away the key. Just go get your baby oil and your soaps and your, do the Tootsie Roll. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, uh, this was okay. So this was figuring out if Sean Combs. Wait, let me, because I went too far, guys. So they said this was a motive for Sean Combs, for Biggie's murder. It was a surmise, was a potential motive. This is what they're saying, guys. And, this is from the LAmagazine.com, and a lot of other people. But this information was in the courts. So this was chasing the money. This was figuring out if Sean Combs was involved in the murking of Tupac, the pre-testified, the retired LA police officer Wednesday on of his role in a federal task force after Wallace family filed a civil lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles that accused the LAPD of conspiring with Biggie's, people that took him out. We think that Sean Combs did that too, allegedly. This is what the streets have been saying for years. Not only just me, the streets, people. It's all over. The streets have really been saying it for years. I kid you not. So anyway, so as a part of the 2008 investigation, Dupree testified they sat down with Davis, who gave details of the Tupac murking. He got a 40 pew pew calibration pew pew from Von Zip. I told you Von Zip's name keeps coming up, and I believe Jay was the go between girl. She was the girl that I used to be best friends with. I'm just gonna, yes, girl I used to be best friends with, do her hair on a regular basis, has something to do with this, cause she was bedfellows with Von Zip, and she was working for Janice Combs and Puppy all at the same time. She was in the mix, white nail polish and everything. I kid you not. Girl, wait a minute. So the priest said he didn't think um Keefe D. Davis was lying because he put the pew pew in his nephew's hand. The priest testified. And from what I heard, Orlando Anderson, that's the man they beat up Tupac and them in the MGM that night of the fight with Mike Tyson, right? So he says, from what I heard, Orlando Anderson was the man in that neighborhood. He was the prince. I wouldn't think that Davis would put the pew pew in his nephew's hand and put smut on his reputation as, a person that takes people out, a killer of a hip hop superstar. I'm telling you, this is so real. This has nothing to do with, this was a part of the staging a coup. I believe, you know what Puppy could have did? Had Tupac robbed and then gave it as a gift to that boy walking around in MGM and knew Tupac was going to be in there. Oh, finding you, Rebecca. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I'm talking about the Sean Combs trial, girl, because it is a lot. It is so much. Listen, it is so much going on, girl. And the reason why, so getting back to Jay, everybody that was close to Puppy that I know, they don't live in this country anymore. I got cursed out by Jay a couple of months ago. I don't want to say her full name because I don't want to be sued. I don't want to, yeah, I need my YouTube channel to continue to bring you this tea. And guys, share my live and watch some of my previous videos. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Anybody else that's going to watch it after it's off because I need 500 subscribers, guys. But anyway, woo! When Biggie was, 6 months after Tupac, Davis was also eyed as a potential suspect. This is all in the courts. This is coming out in the courts. But this is the crazy part. Everybody thinks Puffy had something to do with the Biggie murking also, and that's coming out. And everything is coming out into the courts. While I went to those courts on 500 Pearl Street, this is what I was going for justice for Tupac and Biggie. I kid you not. I kid you not. So this is we're getting back. So more testimony about the Biggie Smalls murking is expected Thursday. So I'm gonna keep up on this. Dupree did have an observation about the untimely demise of Tupac, which came 6 months later after the pew pewing is you know, he think it's surmise. He would have been legendary. And so they think that it was done for a coin. I would think it would be done for a coin too. And I'm just saying, it's a lot going on, guys. What do y'all think? What do you think? I'm telling you, Jay was the go-between girl. Jay was the go-between girl. Yes, Jay was a go-between girl. That's what we calling her, remember? Jay. Girl, it is so much going on. My head is spinning. And these people have moved out the country because I freak all the FOs. She used to wear white nail polish. She used to tell me how I freaked her hair when I would do her hair. And so when all this stuff was coming out, I was like, wait a minute. This girl wore and did and did. And they used to, she used to tell me, Von Zip and them used to compliment her hair like, oh my God, your hair looks so pretty. Yeah, because I did it. I did go to his shop one time when he got his shop. I think it was like on 116 in Harlem. His sister was running the shop, but I had a lot else going on, but I would have been working, very in close proximity with, because but I didn't want anything to do with that because I knew it could potentially be dangerous. Girl, it is so much going on up in here. Ooh, tomorrow the courts. And I told you when I was going to the uh, courts in Manhattan for the Sean Combs trial, and I saw what a circus it was. I said, this is not what's, no, mm-mm. It's more than this. And something kept nudging me because y'all know I got paintings of Tupac and Biggie in my living room, right? Mr. Gomez bought them. We got them off of Pinterest, right? I think we got them for like $300, somewhere around there. 250, 300. Nice cute paintings, right? Oil paintings. But girl, I went to court specifically for that. That's why I went to court. I went to see this. So even 50 Cent speaks on it. He says, listen, man got away with, that $1 million. And I'm just saying. So retired detective says Keffe D claimed Diddy paid for Tupac's murking. And so it is out in the courts. It is official, guys. Make sure that we come because we're going to come back tomorrow with this probably. I can't do it Saturday because I have to get up Sunday. And then I have stuff places to be. But we gonna stay on this and make sure you see me tomorrow. Come see me in the morning with the morning horoscopes and the trending topics, which we gonna pick this back up for tomorrow. But girl, it is so much going on. This is the case of the century that spilled over into another trial. Puppy, His name has been implemented 77 times in the Tupac murking. And then with Biggie being gone 6 months later, and we all looking at Puppy like, because you heard the horrific stories that were being told in the courts during the Sean Combs trial here in Manhattan. And if you don't know, go back to some of my videos for the Sean Combs trial. I have notes. I have notes in here. So I'm gonna pull out my notes, guys. So I'm gonna give you a clearer perspective of what I was seeing in the courts that I was correlating with the Tupac and Biggie murking. I was waiting for that because that Cassie stuff and blah blah blah. He needed this. He needed to be in jail. He needed to be put away, right? But at the same time, girl, I'm sitting here like, what in the world is going on? They have finally made sense of everything because nothing was making sense. For me, nothing was making sense. I'm so serious. Nothing was making sense for me as far as the Sean Combs trial, all those people out there with just it was a shit show. It really wasn't. It's for entertainment and educational purposes only, guys. But girl, anyway, I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Um, in the morning, I should be on between 8:30 and 9:30 with the morning horoscopes and the trending topics. And follow me for more videos. Go watch some of my videos while I was at the trial. I talked about things that led up to now. I've been talking about Jay. I've been telling y'all about this girl a long time ago, about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I've been telling y'all about Jay. As soon as all this started coming out in the open, I had been telling y'all about Jay. The one that I was good friends with, the one I used to do her hair, and we used to curse each other out all the time. Her. She is cooked. And she moved out the country. Now, and I believe that was, a coy. So you got, oh, I moved out the country and I got married. No, you ran out the country, girl. But anyway, look, uh, I'm just saying. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And remember, guys, do your due diligence and read some of this stuff so we can discuss this tomorrow, man, because it is a lot going on. And I'm just telling you, I know some people that know some people that know some people. And there's only one person. Anyway, guys, um, just make sure you come to my live tomorrow and look at my other videos and make sure you subscribe and share my videos, guys, because I need to get to my 500 subscribers. But I will talk to you later and see you on my next video.